Okay, but now let's get to the good stuff, the word choice, because right here in the beginning, we are seeing signs of a very effective communicator. Now, if we put aside the fact that for the last year or so, maybe a little bit more, Will Smith has been going through something and we can all have our opinions on that thing, I think it would be hard to debate that Will Smith is a very effective communicator, very charming, very charismatic. You don't get to where he is in his career by not being really good with people. And right here when he sits down, there's a couple of things he's doing that are just so powerful. The first is, the first thing he says to Trevor Noah, the first way he addresses him is he says, "Kind sir."
Welcome back to the Daily Show.
Kind sir.
How are you?
I am so good.
2 words, and both of those words are extremely powerful. First, kind. So there's a principle in psychology or in persuasion that goes by many names. Some call it consistency, some call it labeling, some call it attribution. It's basically the idea that when we give someone a positive title or a positive label that plays into their identity, they will behave a lot more consistently with that title. Because it's flattering, they like it, so they want to behave consistently because they want to hold on to that title. Now, although there's a ton of really great research that shows how powerful and reliable this is when it comes to human behavior, and I'll leave a bunch of links in the description if you want to learn more about this, one of my favorites off the top of my head is one where a group of children were given labels. Half of them were labeled as helping, like you're helping. The other half were labeled as being helpful. And there's a slight difference there. Helping is something you're just doing right now. It's a verb. But being helpful is part of your identity. And the ones who were labeled as being helpful, like that was part of their identity, went on to behave a lot more consistently with that helpful title. It became part of who they are. So when Will Smith sits down and the first thing he says is "kind sir," so we get that label or that attribution of kind, right away it sets up a frame for the conversation, a frame of kindness. So Trevor Noah now has that label in his mind of kindness. Not that Trevor Noah isn't kind with his guests. I would describe him as a very kind interviewer most of the time. So it's not like it's going to make a big difference, but it just sets a nice frame right off the bat that this is going to be a kind exchange. Then the second word, sir, kind sir, a term of respect, a title of respect. And then he instantly says that he flew 30 hours to be here with you. And both of these things fall under the same category, which is called reciprocity. It is one of the most researched principles of persuasion. Basically, there is endless research. Again, I'll leave a bunch in the description that show that when someone does something for us, we feel morally obliged on a subconscious level to reciprocate, to do something back for them. And this is so deeply embedded in our behavior that it beats liking. There's actual research that shows that even if you don't like a person, if they do something for you, you will feel indebted to do something back. And this behavior dates back all the way to our tribal times, because in tribal times, if there was an individual who just took and never gave, they would be outcast and their bloodline would end right there and then. So we got used to giving as much as taking in order to survive. So in this case, when